Hello and welcome to Herman Hits the Road. I'm Ads.
And I'm Zoe.
And in this video, we're going to take a look at top 5 unusual tips to do in your motorhome or even caravan. So stick around, stay tuned. This is a video in collaboration with other vanners, and you can see their videos at the end of this video in a playlist, or you can take a look in the video description for the link to their video. So in no particular order, our top 5 unusual tips. We're going to start with, well, it's something that you may not even know about.
It's unusual, isn't it?
Well, it's kind of a blue job.
Oh, yeah, then I wouldn't know about it.
And that's emptying the cassette, about emptying the toilet cassette. So my tips, and there's 2 tips that I've got here. The first one is when you're emptying the toilet cassette, wear gloves. And I don't mean ski gloves. I mean like marigolds, that kind of thing, to protect yourself from the blue stuff that you put in there, the chemical. It's just a bit more hygienic as well. Being interrupted. But yeah, so wear gloves. So when you empty it, you're not being affected by the, when you get the blue stuff on your hands, you don't want to, when it gets on your hands, it's a bit of a problem. It's difficult to scrub off.
Between your nails and things.
Yeah. Quickly moving on to the next toilet tip is, and I figured this out very early on in our motorhoming life, I suppose you could say, and that is to, when you're putting the cassette back, make sure it clicks into place, because if it doesn't click, then that means it's not lined up with the toilet bowl itself, and you get leaks.
And we had that, didn't we?
We had that
New Zealand.
In our rental, our first rental, yeah.
Yes.
So make sure it clicks into place. And what I mean by that is that when you pull it out, you've got that little handle, little thing you pull out to unclick it.
Yeah.
There's such a term. So yeah, that's the one you're waiting for it to click, push it all the way in. So one tip that we actually don't use, this is from Chaz and Liz actually. It's not a bad tip. What do you think of this one? Take water from home, so get bottles of water from your own tap, your home tap, take them with you and make tea out of it, from it. So the water, so your tea doesn't taste weird.
Yes, because was it last weekend or very recently, I made a cup of tea and there was all this film all over the tea. It didn't look very nice.
And we were in some place else, was it? Were we? Yeah.
Yeah. But
so,
also we use a lot of filtered water, don't we, from our filtered jug, which makes it nicer as well, doesn't it? But yeah, getting it out of the tap isn't
it's not so much out of the motorhome though, is it?
No.
It's the difference between, you might be used to hard water or you might be used to soft water.
Yes.
Different people, different local area waters seem to taste different when you put it with tea, I think.
Yes. So I mean, we bring bottled water with us anyway, don't we?
And that is
water.
definitely an unusual tip. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I think so. Here's another tip from Chaz. An unusual tip. Gas hoses. So going to gas hoses that go from your bottle to the inside of your motorhome, or even on your barbecue. Check that they are in date. There should be a date when they were manufactured. Check or when they're best before date. Check that they're still in date. And of course, after that date, you could expect them to start cracking and wearing out. So
how long do they meant to last then?
I don't know. I don't know the rules for that.
I don't think
maybe
we've
you guys know.
Changed them, have we?
But yeah, check the dates, and if they're out of date, then start thinking about replacing them. So that's
a good tip.
That's a good unusual tip. Yeah, I think so. Now then, we're on to our final one already.
Wow.
So our final tip is to do with the awning. Now, you may have a slide-out awning on your motorhome or your camper, and you most likely think it's to do with the sunshine.
Protecting you from the
and it's
shade.
very good for doing that.
Yes.
Well, sometimes it depends on where you've angled your motorhome in the pitch, right? Because the sun moves around or whatever, and you may not get the shade that you're after. So I find that the awning is pretty useless when it's sunny, unless it's directly overhead. However, when it's raining, that's when it really does make sense to use the
It's
awning,
beneficial,
because
isn't it?
as you enter the motorhome, you're wet, you've got your feet all wet, you're wearing your your coat and whatever. If the awning's out, you can stand outside still, take off all your, your wellies or whatnot, whatever you're wearing, your waterproof coat, outside still, while it's still teaming it down, but you're not getting wet.
Yes.
Unless it's blowing a gale. And it's
you wouldn't have your awning out if it's very windy, would you? Or if it was really severe weather, would you? But if it's just raining...
So very useful for protecting you, taking your coat off while it's raining outside.
Yes.
However, if it is windy, you may want to tie your awning down with straps, and there's some kits you can get. Straps that kind of help to keep the awning down from the wind. Twist those straps a couple of times. Even on tents and stuff. If you have one of these cables doing that, or one of these ties vibrating like this,
that noise.
Turn them around. Just do a couple of twists. You may have a bit of OCD where every strap needs to be perfectly parallel and no twists in it. No, forget that. Give it a couple of twists and you won't get that vibration. So there's another tip for you. But back to the awning. Rather than, again, if you're OCD and you have to have it perfectly level, don't do it perfectly level, because that's the worst thing you can do.
Yes.
Have it tilted slightly, so when it does rain, the rain goes down one direction and falls in one place rather than off both ends, and you can get wet off the...
Yes, because if it was level, you'd have all the water...
it'd be raining down the sides.
It'd be too heavy for it.
Yeah, you want it coming down into the gutter at the end of the awning, and then rolling off into the into one corner. So tilt the awning, use the awning in the rain, tilt the awning, and if you have straps, tie them down and have a little twist in them. So that is, unless you have another tip. So that is our top 5 tips to do, unusual tips for your motorhome or even caravan. If you enjoyed them, do please give it a thumbs up. But before you go, don't forget to check out this playlist with all the other vanners and their top unusual tips.
And also, so I just thought, if anybody's got any good tips that we don't know about, could you
share
let
your
us
tips.
know? Because we are always into new tips.
Starting to get sounding rude now.
Yeah, and on that note, we'll bid you farewell.
Goodbye.